have a featured poet as well. Um, his name is Pepe Viteri. Before he comes on stage, I'm just going to say a couple of words about him. He truly is a soul that loves travel and love, and it's fitting that he's a poet because he's a very poetic soul. He grew up in a multicultural family. He grew up with adventures that all the adventures that travel and languages can bring, and to this day enjoys love and travel more than any other human pastime or activity. Pepe started writing at the age of 7 while growing up as a boy of mixed cultures and ethnicities. He embraced the warmth and romanticism of Latin American culture while in Ecuador, all throughout high school, and later at age 18, flew back to the U.S. to start a new chapter at Clark College in Dubuque, Iowa. And there's something that he said about Dubuque, which I guess the only thing I know of Iowa is a movie about baseball. So I found this pretty interesting. What was so special about Dubuque, he said, was that organically, many artists from the Mid-East states had converged in a class of nomad skiers and snowboarder artists, all of us grasping freedom of thought. And so here, the king of freedom of thought in Denver is Pepe Viteri. Please give him a warm welcome.
Hi. Hello. Just want to thank everybody, and thank you, Katie, for that wonderful presentation. Tonight, I have some written word for you. It's an amalgam or a rhapsody, and also just some mixed writings and moments about, like Katie was saying, travel, love, life, and some sexy things too. Why, thank you if you hear me. Today I'm here by bliss. For if without that certain something, simply none of this would happen or exist, that you believe once more that some white rabbit or lucid dream could take you to explore and shake your core beliefs and mix them up with fantasy. Let's just start a journey and jump to the other side to open wide the door of thought that is hidden somewhere in your mind. Without a blink, art shall appear, and right before your eyes, creation of all answers, like fractals in your mind. There is no possible poetic epic stipulation that goes beyond the horizon of us. We wake up and live again and again, not knowing really what it is that we must. That amalgam stream of transparent thoughts, which sound mundane and exude yellow hues, will drag you through sleep towards a mystery ride. And you'll see it when fear stands up on its blues. A taste from existence, from very far out there where inertia and action collide. That wind which appears and swallows you whole, wraps the scene of a beach while we burn inside. Take a long hit of freedom before it's not there, and remember the sight you observe from above. When your mind escapes and leaves the white room, and the great wheel revolves when mistaken for love. There's no time when you enter the circus of God, just your favorite naked, hologramic desires. I forget and remember those flashbacks of you, and your kiss in my mind while I walk through the fire. Now I lavishly fall and wake while I sleep, while you try to indulge in the sounds of this song. I remember the lake and the corner of those eyes. The risk that you take will pull you beyond. There's no street that you go for this lucid dose, and you see what you hold right over your spine. It's that dream that reverbs and swallows you whole. And it rolls up and down, and it ends when you sigh. Thank you. I'd love to recite this abstract for you. Such vague and unusual small talk at the coffee shop again. That day the air at noon is moist, icy circles in the sky, opaquely shades our movements, lethargic as they come. I'd walk away in disregard, but now I've seen your eyes. If that exact, symmetric, elastic counterpart only of itself would be and fall from sky to sea, on the horizon line I'd dance and soak Alhambra rain and laugh and cycle back above and die for you and me. You are the one rose in our planet, and something has changed, I'm sure. Yet you enlighten lives' own lives and make me want a little more. My bloody heart, that bloody feels, all which is captured in your lips, cannot remind me of the scent of you each time your face is lit. The gaudy words I spill for you, my heart denies that they exist. Soon after, in the afternoon, you give a glance I can't resist. 2 hours more, another day, accelerated by your voice, just right around your silhouette. My heart, I have no real choice. I can't discern if this is real. This bloody heart pulsates for none, pulsates again and then for all, but now just for you when you are undone. I can't remember well those times until they knew they had begun. Such hazy summer afternoons, your pretty Sundays in the sun. Thank you. Katie was saying that I lived in South America, and I truly did embrace all the romanticism of Latin culture and the poetry that comes with it, just in every situation. And because Denver is an absolutely inclusive, multicultural environment, I'd like to direct the arts and diversity to some of the poems that I've written in Spanish. I'd like to recite something in Spanish. Aquella voz que escucho en mi oído trae la ausencia y presencia de la vida que le dan a tu mirada y tu respiro, a nuestro mundo, su entrada y su salida. Hay silencios desbordados de anhelo que provocan quietud en mis latidos, que van y van acelerados por la sangre, volando a emparejar con tus latidos. Liarse en dueto dulcemente, desenvolverte como un caramelo, sin pensarte te acercas a mis versos, como el agua, sube y baja del cielo. Como duerme el relámpago en el arte, que sin ojos lo podrías atesorar, así ruge la vibra del espíritu aquel que vive en tu boca sin igual. Choca el cincel, acaricia el pincel, la pasión y la esencia se encuentran entre labios que no pueden disimular su fuerza por más que lo intentan. Oh coloratura, has llenado el aire y cae el sol mientras tanto con la historia y el drama que encienden al amor de tu vida, bel canto. Te pregunto, ¿has ido a mi mundo? no es el de todos. Un sitio irreal, sin maneras ni modos, donde todo es abstracto y lo real es un sueño, un lugar tan divino que no tiene dueños. Creería que sí, ya que todos queremos apartarnos un poco o tal vez escondernos. Ciegos buscamos el mundo distante. Las palabras que lees llegarán a tentarte. Acá hay fantasías que alumbran mi ser y que abrieron mis ojos cuando no pude ver. Los vientos hablaron y cantaron las brisas de colores divinos que pintan sonrisas. Aquí todo lo que es escoge no serlo y juega a esconderse para nunca más verlo. Un día más que eterno que nunca amanece. Una magia constante que no desvanece. Con un par de palabras podrías venir. Pero mucho cuidado, no trates de huir. La luz en el cielo y el fuego de vida borrarán tu entrada y también tu salida. No permitas que nada te robe la calma. Con la mente en la mano que sueñe tu alma. Estamos a un paso del sueño profundo. Tu cuento, tus alas, tu cielo y tu mundo. Gracias. Thank you. I have another poem in English, and it's dedicated actually to everyone, people who have suffered, people who are well, mothers, fathers, everybody in this existence. I must be honest, it's an honor, in my soul and through my time, to see another sweet, sweet summer come round here and pass me by. Also, summer was a time when things get ruined. Oh, summer can be a bitch. I was given the news of having cancer and saw so many summers go by me and not participating in any of them whatsoever. And through them I fought. And it was also in a summer that I received the blessed news that I was cancer-free and ready to live. So again, I want to dedicate this moment to all cancer survivors, to all survivors in general, to all who thrive to pursue their dreams, to the mothers who cared for them, for all the artists and poets, for mankind and everybody who takes a risk to do something, to all the risk takers that want to make the world a better place. A great endless summer to you all. So just always leave a little space for something new. For the eye above may see you play the game of life, which is also seen by you. Time rolls, and my senses are trying to stop it. The sight of a siren escaped from a dream. The city is early but mystically drawn to that gypsy effect, unreal and unseen. That subtle and delicate silhouette, which I'd see at times through morning light, her adorable yet bewitching appearance, take me to wonder of things that I might. Hints of erotic too luring to mention, an intense blue soul through that feminine gaze, stir all my thoughts, which rhyme and remind me that you are so beautiful, I just had to say. This poem was for my lovely wife. Thank you very much.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, of course.
A little question and answer section for our featured poet, Pepe. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, how long have you lived in Denver?
3 years.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
And you called it an inclusive city, which actually kind of surprised me from somebody who grew up here.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm glad to hear that things have actually changed a little bit.
Well, I guess it's an open question. Wherever life has taken me, I've had the opportunity to just sit down and look at the people. And whether when I was in Ukraine or when I lived in Ecuador or in the different cities in the United States. And I had the amazing opportunity of landing here like 3 years ago. And I fell in love with the mountains. And the first person that I met here said, well, I think Denver is right the place for you. Probably he saw the look in my eye or something, but he said that this is a big city with a small town feel. And since I've got here, Denver has just opened its arms to me, and things have been very stabilizing, at least for my soul, the person who I am. So I've felt it to be very inclusive to artists, to people who want to do things, people who are willing and have the drive to, to either get things done or make a difference. And that's why I feel that it's actually inclusive.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I always did feel like the mountains, the open space, actually kind of formed the personalities of the people that lived here.
Oh,
live
absolutely.
here.
Absolutely.
Because
yes.
that openness, you feel it in your heart.
Yes, there's something mystic too about the mountains.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, something in the air for sure.
Now, I was reading in your bio that you speak Spanish, or you write in Spanish, English, and Russian.
Yes.
Not only do you speak it, but you write in it.
Yes.
What are the major... I guess my question is, being unfortunately only an English speaker and like maybe knowing 2 words in other languages. I heard that you dream in other languages if you really know it fluently. Is that true?
I've dreamt in black and white. I've dreamt in Russian. I've dreamt in Spanglish. I've dreamt in different languages, all depending on the day that I've had or how people have encountered me or made a difference.
Okay.
For sure.
So now, how is writing poetry in Spanish different than Russian and English? I mean, obviously, the sounds are different. And as somebody who's a musician, I always think about rhythm and meter and sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you feel like writing poetry in different languages kind of forms the poem itself and the subject matter?
I think it's the most important thing to feel in a particular language, because the phonetics of Spanish or the phonetics of, say, Italian or English also, they create a particular vibe, or they create a particular feeling. They evoke something because it's culturally bound. Since when you're a child, when you receive a gift, it makes you happy, or when something is saddening, there's something going on inside you, and that happens differently in different language because the words have a different phonetic feel. And I think that for everybody, there are certain words and certain phrases that can ignite you. And that happens different culturally. So for me, writing in Spanish is from the heart, because that's the language that I grew up with. Writing in English for me is also from the heart, because it's the United States is where I was born, and it's a country that has given me so much. And writing in Russian has a particular special connotation for me, because that's where I met my true love in the Ukraine. So when I hear that language, it really just it creates like a carousel of ideas in my mind, and it really reminds me of so many places that I've been when I was having to learn such a difficult language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's very beautiful. Thank you very much for being here. That's what we're here for, to support each other. And I mean, that's really this particular open mic. We're really here to build a community, and a community of trust and inclusiveness. So thank you
Yes.
so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Reading your beautiful poems. Did you have any others that you wanted to read before
I have
you left?
another one in Spanish, if I may.
please.
great.
I'll exit the stage so you have full reign.
Thank you. I guess I just want to say that this poem is about falling in love with an opera singer and trying to see what beauty lies inside the music that was composed so long ago for us to still cherish it today. This is in Spanish, and it's called Gemido de Euforia. Correría la sangre indetenible si se oyera al fin aquella voz, incendiando el silencio sin sospecha y libando la cadencia entre dos. Son la audiencia y aquella bocanada, cuya hipnosis regala una doncella en la parte más obscena de la noche, inundando con su luz a cada estrella, rastro aquel de estridentes vibraciones que aunque inspira, hace sangrar al corazón, spiccato que se vierte al infinito con la fuerza especial de su canción. Si cantara por amor se entendería el matiz de su lira endiablada, pero aquel espectador de su romanza sabe que ama sin estar enamorada, y el milagro que vive en su pecho, de cualidades gemelas a la euforia, es el gemido carnal que hoy cataliza la atracción más antigua que la historia. Ceñido a su cuerpo está la gloria, y realmente es imposible no mirarla, mientras sube hasta el registro del silbido aquella voz arrastrada por su alma. Pero la estrofa que cuenta la lira, invocando su deleite musical, es la misma que consume el dolor de la anhelada disonancia visceral. La perfección sangrará discordia bajo una lluvia veraniega inesperada, cuando se hagan evidentes las verdades como tácticas identificadas, como trucos entre gestos y caricias, como mentiras que no tienen color, que alumbran el contraste de una risa cuando se ama poco a poco entre dos. Y desde antes que la aurora existiera, mucho antes de la hora que entendemos, desbocado de viriles intenciones, se forjaba la fuerza de este verso, que ha de llegar para no sintonizar, a pegarse silencioso en el telón del escenario para hacerte olvidar las palabras que no quieres pronunciar. Y cuando intentes decirlo, amada musa, que resbale de tu mente al corazón aquel impulso real que te hace acuerdo de cada estrofa cuando cantes tu canción. Sonata y soneto se acuestan en el cielo de su real imperfección a derramar el ensayo invisible que ha de curar su musical obsesión. Thank you so much.